Welcome to Therapy Unlocked, where we discuss all things therapy from an unlocked perspective. I'm Emily Huffman, and I'm here with Katrina.
Hello, Katrina Mondragon, licensed professional counselor. All right, so like I said, I am a professional, but not your professional, so nothing we're going to talk about today should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That is it. That's the disclaimer.
Education, amusement, and because I would like to be famous. So please like, subscribe, follow, engage, hate on us, join the conversation, find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts, because I love a creeper and I love a hater and I love a lover. So if you like the podcast, if you dislike the podcast, I'd like to hear from you. I am so tired. But here we are. And let me tell you, today we're talking emotional support beverages and the weird things we do to get by. So I've got mine. You got yours?
Yes, Ultra Peachy Keen.
Ooh, Ultra Peachy Keen. I tell you, I've tried the Ultra Peachy Keen. I've tried, I think I've tried most of the Ultra Zeros. I can't do the fully leaded, the full sugar versions
Same.
of
Too
the
much sugar.
Monster. Way too much sugar. Yeah. I feel like I'm like drinking syrup or something. Like I'm in the movie Elf and it's like, you know. So welcome everybody to Therapy Unlocked. I'm a little low energy today. I am so tired. But I thought maybe because of that, we might talk emotional support beverages. So my baby, my ride or die is the Monster Zero. But that doesn't mean that I'm not without the necessities of life. I've got my water. I've
It's always
got
good to hydrate.
my Diet Coke. I've got, some other soda.
I might have a problem.
It's okay, me too. I think I've always got like at least 3 or 4, like going at all times. I'm not sure.
This was a treat, though. This was a treat. It's a strawberry limeade. I don't often go to this one, but it was delightful. For those of you who can't see what I'm holding up, it is a fast food cup, who I'm not promoting freely, so we're not going to name them.
I did promote Monster freely, but Monster, if you want to send me some, go right ahead. Trust me, I've been putting your kids through college. You could help me just get them through the day. That's cool. I think that drinks as a little treat are elite because in this economy, I mean, it used to be we could get them for 69 cents, but at this point, I mean, you could still get a drink for under $2 most of the time.
Depends on where you go. Not if you're going out to eat. They're like $4.
I took my children's out for breakfast over the weekend, and I was shocked because their drinks cost as much as their breakfast.
Yep.
I was like, this is the recession.
And no refills. No refills.
No refills. And it cost the same amount as their food. I was like, that was twice as much as I was planning.
Total tangent. When I was in Florida for the American Counseling Association conference, I had a $8 cranberry juice. It was delicious, but I drank every drop. And you're kind of frozen. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah, you froze too.
We're going to pause while we check our internet.
Yeah.
And we're back.
I can't believe an $8 cranberry juice. They didn't even put any vodka in it. That's wild.
I think that would be complimentary at that point.
No joke. Well, speaking of vodka cranberry, what drink do you turn to when you're overwhelmed?
I am a little weird, some would say, or eccentric, as I would say. Water has always been my favorite, but I've only just discovered circle water, and I called it Kirkle. Let me tell you the story. I discovered it before the Super Bowl commercial, and it spells Cirkul. No affiliation whatsoever. This is just how you spell it, and my brain said Kirkle. So I've been going around saying Kirkle water, Kirkle water, Kirkle water. And somebody finally corrected me and said, "Do you mean that circle water?" And I looked up the commercial. And sure enough, it is circle water. Please send me a sample. That was a great commercial for them.
Circle water. That Kirkle makes me think of Urkel. Did I do that? Like,
it doesn't have to be flavored, though. In all honesty, when I was in the Navy and we had any ailment, be it physical, mental, emotional, any ailment whatsoever, grab your canteen, drink some water. So I will drink my water for anything that requires something to reduce the intensity of. So that is my go-to coping skill, is drink that water. The other ones are for variety. And this I say in moderation because it is 150 milligrams of caffeine. So no more than one a day.
I think they're 200.
Mine says 150 per can, caffeine from all sources.
Really? Oh, okay.
Maybe it differs it might differ per can.
Ooh,
that's important to read the nutrition labels, folks.
Okay, so fun fact, I don't. So that just goes to show you, you tend to have one sister that reads nutrition labels and one that doesn't. I'd be the one that doesn't. That said, I don't even know where they say that on here. I do about 3 of these a day, usually, sometimes 4. But I drink other things too. And I'm a big fan of that. Anytime anything's wrong, have some water. My kids will be like, hey, my stomach hurts. I'm like, drink some water. My head hurts. Have some water. My girlfriend broke up with me. Go get some water. Whatever it is, I don't do walk it off. I do, why don't you have a glass of water? And then we'll talk about it. Because I heard one time, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard once that we are all dehydrated. So I just assume that we're all starting at dehydrated. And if we solve that problem first, then everything else should probably get easier at that point. So I don't know if that's true, but it seems to help with the kid.
I've also heard that drinking water will flush out any toxins.
Oh, I wonder, my brilliant, brilliant sister, if drinking water does anything for the concentration of cortisol.
A stress hormone.
Yeah.
Possibly.
You have, it seems like it would make sense. You have a concentration of cortisol in your body. I'm not a scientist. I wish I was, but I'm not. Or maybe I am because I say I am. But if you have cortisol being released in your body and you drink some water, it would make sense if that thinned it out. Or, I happen to think that Diet Coke is basically brown water. So, that said,
I like your hypothesis because let me explain what alcohol does to cortisol. When people drink alcohol and then go to sleep, it is not restful sleep because the body does not have a chance to allow that cortisol to dissipate. So when people are like drunk and passed out drinking, like drunked out, I don't know what it's called. What is it called when somebody passes out from drinking?
Blacked out.
Okay, when somebody's blacked out, they're not getting REM sleep. Their body is still full of cortisol. They are stressed. They are not resting. And that's what alcohol does to cortisol.
Interesting.
So your hypothesis for water makes sense.
Yeah. Alcohol dehydrates. So theoretically, yeah, that does make sense. If anybody knows the answer to that, please chime in the comments, shoot us a DM, come join us on the podcast and tell us if you're qualified and you know that. I would love to know that. Does water dilute cortisol? Alcohol apparently increases your levels of it. I think that is,
or it doesn't let it go down. If it doesn't increase it, it definitely doesn't let it go down when you're trying to go to sleep.
Right. Well, if it doesn't let it go down, then you continually make cortisol when you're stressed out, you know? And if you think you're waking up after a blackout or after a night of drinking, you were already stressed out, it didn't let the cortisol levels go down, then the levels are going to increase. You know, you're going to have a higher level when you wake up. I think, yeah, so maybe it doesn't actively increase it, but yeah, I wouldn't let it go down. You're going to have a higher level of it. Yeah, that
That would
tracks.
suck.
So water's the drink you turn to when you're overwhelmed. I turn to Diet Coke because Diet Coke is brown water for me. I do think so.
Aspartame. I
I
won't go
have
on a
been,
rant
well, you
about
know what
aspartame.
though? I think that is okay. Yes, aspartame's not great, but I've been to a lot of nutritionists. I don't know if I've talked too much on here, but I'm chronically ill, and every few years, some specialist says we can fix you if you learn how to eat. It's not true because I've been to a lot of them, been to a bunch of different nutritionists. And every time I go, they say, well, I think you know how to eat. You're pretty sick and you've been sick for a long time. And I say, I sure have. And I do know how to eat. And they talk to me about whether or not I'm hydrated. And I say, I am pretty darn hydrated, but you know what I love? I love Diet Coke. And they say, well, good job, because it's basically water. Um, so for anybody out there listening, uh, of all of the nutritionists I've gone to, all of them have agreed that my Diet Coke is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and say your Diet Coke is fine. Go for it. And I think that it's basically brown water. It has some additives that aren't great, but if you can't stomach water, go ahead and have your Diet Coke. Have a great day. You're welcome. I just made your day.
I will respectfully disagree. We can agree to disagree.
We absolutely can. We absolutely can. But in this current hellscape of the world, I vote everybody can have a Diet Coke today.
It is Earth Day. I know this will be coming out.
How many drinks do you have right now?
Say that question one more time. It broke up.
How many drinks do you have right now? 3? Okay. I have 5. I'm sitting at 5. Yeah. Okay. What were you saying right before that?
What was your next question?
Oh, yeah, it was just how many drinks do you have right now? But yeah, do you think that your drink is a personality trait?
No.
I think anyone?
I think it's a preference. And like anything, people can take on a trait as an identity. So, for example, anxiety, some people think of themselves as an anxious person rather than a person who experiences anxiety. Taking on that trait as a state, I mean, if you want to, sure, but I don't see how that would be helpful for me. But yeah, sure, if somebody wants to say that Monster Energy drink is their identity and they are, I don't know, I just thought of the Dragon Queen in the Game of Thrones, the Monster Queen instead of the Dragon Queen.
So that's hilarious because what came to mind when I put that out was have you ever seen the guy who does the skits? He's the monster guy. I think his name's Kyle. He's Kyle the monster guy, and he punches drywall. And he drinks and he punches drywall. And it is so relatable that thousands upon thousands of people that are like, yeah, Kyle who drinks Monster and punches drywall. Duh. We all know Kyle.
There's a female, a White Claw girl on TikTok. She does nothing but drink White Claw and sing songs. And she does this cool thing where she takes the cup and she has the cup and she has the drink and then she like flips it and then it flips right into the trash or into the sink, I think.
We got Monster Kyle. We got White Claw girl. We've got wine moms. I could say a lot on wine moms, such as that. Why do we have them? And why are we telling moms that they don't need more support? They need some wine. But we've got wine moms. We've got Monster Kyle. We've got who is there? I love this one. This one is one of my favorite examples of a personality trait for a drink. We've got the boba girl. I love the boba girl. Have you seen her? She's
the boba tea
straw and she. Oh, that is feminine power. I love her. So drinks can be a personality trait, I think, in a good way, and they can also be kind of a comedic personality trait, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But I like what you said about identifying a personality trait when you want to. I thought that was good. With like, yeah, you have anxiety, but if you want to make that your personality, go ahead. And if you don't, then don't.
Right. Sometimes it can be based on preference.
That rather denotes some agency to an individual.
Thank you for joining Therapy Unlocked as we discussed emotional support beverages. Please join us next week as we continue the conversation. You can find Therapy Unlocked on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Please join us on Instagram and chime in the comments with your emotional support beverage and how you enjoyed the episode. We look forward to hearing from you and hope that you'll come back to continue the conversation with us. We are Therapy Unlocked, and we are unlocking the mind one conversation at a time.